Hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I just frigging pulled a muscle in my glutes, basically, and it hurts every time I take a step. First of all, we're just gonna do some eyebrows because I shaved my brows for the purpose of makeup for the FLA show, Gary Newman and Ministry. I did heavy makeup for that, heavy goth makeup, and it's just easier for the shapes and whatnot to do that. So I'm just gonna be quickly just drawing them back on because the browless look has been bothering me. But today we're just gonna talk about um, my experiences with live music. We're just gonna talk about live music and whatnot, concerts and everything, the shows I've seen. It's mostly gonna be geared towards the industrial community, the goth community, because that's mostly my interest in music. I'm not really that much into industrial, but I do like the vibe and the music of a few bands, and I do like the ones I've seen. And yeah, and like I've seen things that are like more goth adjacent, not purely goth. Like I've seen Depeche Mode, so I'm gonna be talking about that. I know that talked about it like I've talked about it a little bit before. A little bit is an understatement, but I will be going more in depth, and I'm not really gonna focus on my like experience as a concert goer in the sense that I'm not really gonna focus on how I felt and meeting the people and all that, which I've done in the past. Like I've talked about my experience meeting Skinny Puppy twice, and I've talked about my online interactions with the music community, and I've talked about a lot of that already, but I want to focus it more toward just a general concert experience and how it is as a concert goer to be experiencing those things. I'm sorry if I'm just fiddling with my phone, but the thingy is broken. Like my charger is broken, and I have to fiddle to get it to actually charge. So yeah, that is what I'm doing right now. Before I start, though, let me just get the stuff out of the way. I'm gonna put my links in the description. But I am going through some financial struggle right now. Let just give Nightbot a second to actually like to actually get the links out. I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of brain fog right now, so I am a little bit all over the place. I'm not feeling my greatest. I kind of want to cry. I'm not in the best place ever, but there you go. We got the links. But bear with me. I'm gonna try to get through this. I really need to distract myself and to talk about things that bring me joy. So that's why I'm here tonight, today or tonight, whatever. It's kind of like afternoon, late afternoon here. Um, it's presently 4:42. But yeah, I'm a disabled artist. I'm an autistic human with chronic pain. I struggle to get a regular job. You know how I don't mean that it's bad to have a job like that. I just mean that really there should be like the same amount of serious taken towards that than to a small business like I have. That's basically what I mean. Like, there's no shame in having whatever job keeps you alive. But I just want to say that basically, yeah, I struggle to get that type of job because of my disabilities, because of my own struggles. I'm just gonna do boring um, brown eyebrows, like regular eyebrows. I just want to have a shape there so it doesn't bother me. But if you want to support me, that would be really appreciated. In my Etsy shop, I have a lot of plushies. I have a lot of crocheted items. I have some washcloths. I have a lot of shawls too. I'm probably gonna be working on my shawl for the Cal, the virus shawl Cal, while I talk to you. So I just wanted to casually mention that. But yeah, you have that, and also my Ko-fi uh, link goes directly towards my rent, my bills, and necessities like food, cleaning products, hygiene products. Right now, I need to buy toilet paper. I don't have any toilet paper anymore, and I'm just trying to keep what I have left for rent and not, um, you know, not spend any more of my money because I did Michael's LPS, which is lowest price of the season thing, because I needed some yarns to restock my shop, and I needed to get some stuff because I get some orders, and basically black yarn and some specific colors are rapidly disappearing from my stash. I'm gonna have to adjust this eyebrow. It's a little bit misshaped, but we're gonna get through it. So I just want to thank again those who have already helped me out. That is greatly appreciated. I'm still struggling though. I'm in a lot of debt, and I have a lot of debt, and I have a lot of bills that are late and things like that. So right now I'm trying to squash that. So yes, I just wanted to say, to talk about my appreciation for the lovely people who have helped me and to my community. Right now I'm gonna be talking about concerts and whatnot. So let me just fix my stupid eyebrow before I start because um, I'm distracted right now. So okay, it's not that even, but just bear with me. I have weird eyebrows right now. And I'm just gonna go lightly over them with something because right now they're super stark in your face and I don't want that. That annoys me to no end. Or I could just do makeup. I could just do yeah, I'm just gonna do a smoky eye or something. I'm gonna be right back again. I'm sorry guys. But yeah, this is the only eyebrow thingy I have. I don't have lighter colors, so hello, I am back again. I'm sorry. but I'm annoyed with my eyebrows and I want to fix that. And I've been feeling like doing more makeup lately, so I feel like it's a win-win. Really, I'm gonna fix that weird eyebrow, and also at the same time get to do more fun stuff. And yeah, like I said, last time I wore makeup was for the Frontline Assembly show, and then after that I did well, I just said last, but yeah, the last time in a long time, like I hadn't done it a lot before, was for the show, and after that I just felt like getting a little bit back into it. But I always like to look nice for shows, because it's a special event in my mind. And full disclaimer, I'm gonna talk a lot about my concert going experience in this video, as per the title, obviously. But I'm a front row goer. I am very much addicted to front row. I always try to get me a spot. I always try to get myself a spot, and it's not for any type of weird reason, but I just connect a lot more that way because I'm a very energetic person, and I like to kind of feel out the energy on stage and really, really get into it, and dance a lot. And also, I'm dyspraxic, so I need to hold myself on something solid, and the barricade provides that stability for me. Because the thing with barricades is they are solid things. You can pretty much rely on them. They're there to keep people from approaching the stage too much. So yes, I usually am front row or very close. In all the shows I've seen in the more recent times, the farthest I've been was for Depeche Mode, because that wasn't a big stadium, and so I was sitting at the top with a partly obstructed view. I just grabbed the cheapest ticket. I'm not gonna lie. Because they were quite expensive, and I love Depeche Mode, like it's no big deal, but I was a student at the time. I couldn't really afford um, the super big intense tickets, I'm not saying that in a weird way, just in general. Um, I still enjoyed the concert from that spot. So I'm gonna be first talking about my it's gonna do a very basic makeup. I don't even know if I want to do a smoky eye right now. I just grabbed some glitter. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk about my first real bad concert experience while I was 13, and I've seen live music before, but I was not really there for the purpose of it. Like, when you go to some festivals and things like that, and you're young, but you're with your parents, and you're kind of in a different area. You can kind of see the stage, but you're not actively there at the concert that had happened before. I'm sorry. I know that I do a lot of like I digress a lot. I go into subjects, and I diverge from them quite a bit. If you're new here, you will see that. But the first concert I purposely bought a ticket for was when I was 13 years old. I went to see a Quebec band called Loco Locas. They are a hip hop band, and they talk about a lot of political stuff going on in Quebec, and a lot of the political things with Canada and Quebec, because there's a lot of BS happening there. There's a lot of stuff happening there. Goodness, I'm just forgetting which one I used, because I have like 5 eyeshadows that are basically almost identical in color, right next to each other. That's annoying. But yeah, Loco Locas was pretty great. I was front row, obviously. Um, and I was hooked on the whole concert experience. It was so intense. I remember I was just so overjoyed. I was already a fan person at the time. Like I was all over those guys, and I got their latest album, which was called uh, basically a more loving translation for oral sex. So it was like oral sex, but said in a nicer manner. Loco Locas is quite popular over here. They're like word wizards. They're very good at what they do. And how can I say this? They're known for their word wizardry. Just like if you want to know what kind of music we're exposed to, well, this was years ago. They're not really active anymore. Not that I know of anyway. I'm not really into those spheres anymore. I don't really listen to hip hop anymore. That was more of a thing when I was around 13 years old and a very young teen. After that, I went into emo stuff and things like that. Sadly, I've not seen a concert during those years, so I have zero experience with the emo scene at all. Like, I've just listened to the music, basically. We're gonna go into a little bit of ride. But then after that, there was a festival in the town I lived in. I'm not gonna dox myself, but quite a few bands played there that are known in Quebec. Um, just a bunch of popular bands, a few rock bands as well, but mostly French Canadian stuff. So I saw a very political band called Les Vulgaires Machins. I like them quite a bit. I still do. I've just not kept up with them, but their music meant a lot to me growing up because I've always kind of been into the political scene, and I was front row for that one. And I got a drumstick because my friend got both of them, and she gave me one of them, and I gave her one of the ones I got from the band that played before. It was some disco band, Boogie Wonder band, something like that. I don't remember exactly. I think that was the one. But because I'm very intense when I go to see live music, and I think a lot of the time I kind of connect with the people on stage. And so sometimes I get stuff, and like that's not a requirement, and I never expect it, but it's just always a nice surprise, you know. I have quite a few now. I have those ones that I told you about. I have a guitar pick from Matthew when he was playing with Skinny Puppy, and then another one from Frontline Assembly. And I have a drumstick from Justin, who performed with Skinny Puppy again. And I have a drumstick from Ministry now, also. So I'm very happy about that. That was a good show. Um, but those bands I was seeing at that festival, like I've seen a lot of pop stuff and things like that. The performance for those has always kind of been like more relaxed, more tame. You know, the kind of I'm singing with my guitar, standing in one spot, not really running all over the place. Um, some of the bands were a little bit more active, but it's been mostly not that it's a bad thing because every band performs differently, but I'm a very active show goer. I will head bang. I will be very intense because that's what I like to do. I like to get into it, and I like to show my energy and share my energy with the band. That's who I am. That's what I do. That's winter for you. Okay, so, but yeah, I tend to be a little bit more active. Like, even if I'm seeing a pop band, I don't just sway, I move a lot, and I'm autistic, so I stem to the music, and I mostly like not really dances, not really like um, what you would usually see from a person dancing to music, but I sway back and forth, front and back. Um, I move quite a bit. I jump up and down on my feet, and that for me is the way I enjoy concerts. But I do want to talk a bit more about the bands themselves. But now that I've done some level of makeup, I can maybe do that. Um, we're just gonna try again to dull the eyebrows because they're catastrophic right now. Uh, I promise it's not gonna look as bad when I'm done. Oh, this didn't do anything. Instead, I'm gonna darken this. Gonna do full on goth then. Where is my black paste? I have black paste. But so we're gonna talk about my experience with Depeche Mode because after that festival in my hometown slash second hometown, because I was born in another town anyway, it's a whole big deal, but there was just a festival with good live music and nice shows. Ah, I messed up my eyebrow again. No, yeah, I'm just gonna fix it after. But yeah, fast forward to 2017. Um, keep in mind, I had not seen a show in a while. But Depeche Mode is kind of a synth pop uh, sort of band. There's a lot of synths in there. Obviously, if you know them, you know. But I love electronic music and I love synths, and I do also love other instruments like more guitars and stuff, and I do like music with very heavy bass. But that's just it. I recently fell quite in love with the synths and the things. And when you see the Depeche Mode, you will have a fantastic time. Obviously, the presence on stage, it is something. And I'm gonna say this: Dave Gahan completely. Um, he is amazing. He will completely take the whole space on stage, run around, and be very there. Very in the moment, in the vibe. He will just give you an amazing show. Like you're not just spending your money for nothing when you see the Depeche Mode. But one thing I was completely enamored with during the Depeche Mode is Martin's performance. Martin Gore. I kind of almost prefer him to Dave Gahan. Dave is great, don't get me wrong, but Martin, Martin stole my heart that night. When he came back on and did a few songs by himself, like mid-show, he did so towards the end as well. He did the question of lust. Wow, it blew my mind. It just blew my mind. Because if you are not aware, he sings on some records as well, on some of the Depeche Mode's albums, and he has that fantastic voice that is very melodious. And don't get me wrong, Dave Gahan has this very deep, strong, powerful voice, but Martin will just like take your breath away. A lot of people hate on me for saying that I prefer Martin, but I just love Martin. I still love Dave Gahan. I still love that man. I still love all of the Depeche Mode. But that's it. I'm just very into the ones that get emotional. I'm into the strong emotional connections I get from seeing live music. And that is why when I had the pleasure seeing him, I could not stop. I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop staring. And we were seated, and people get mad when you got up because it was a stadium and a bunch of boring people who were not really there to appreciate the Depeche Mode. Like, they were pissed that they would play new songs and whatnot. Like, often a lot of concerts goer are, and I kind of dislike that attitude. I get the nostalgia and whatnot, but I kind of dislike the attitude of going like, "Hey, I'm going to see this live band," and complain the whole time that they're doing new stuff that they enjoy. I don't get that. It makes zero sense to me. Let me know what you think from the performances you have been to see. Let me know how you feel about that. I'm curious. I'm quite curious. I've decided to do a little bit more purplish shadows here to get more of a gothy vibe going on because I'm not sure I like what I had going on. So yeah, bear with me. I am sorry. But it was, yeah, like I said, a bunch of boring people said that it wasn't gonna be all 80s and 90s. You know, it wasn't gonna all be Violator and um, all that, you know, the popular stuff. Don't get me wrong, still love Violator, but I like other Depeche Mode albums. I like the more recent ones as well. One of my favorite song was goodness, I forgot the title, but it's one of their most um like mid 2010s, maybe something like that, even a little bit before, maybe. And Precious is not that old and not that recent, all at the same time. But I like that song a lot. It's a song that Martin wrote for his kids when he separated from his wife. I've heard a lot about it. By the way, Martin Gore writes the whole lyrics for Depeche Mode. If you did not know that, now you know. But Dave has written some of them, but mostly Martin. And like at some point, Dave had to go in and go, "Hey, I want to write too. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing here." And so he's done a few, but yeah, just so you know, I'm a little bit informed about that stuff. There, I feel like this is a little bit more gothy, and I feel more comfortable now. I'm just gonna get rid of the fallout real quick. Just give me a second. I will be back again and talk some more about live music, people. But let me know your concert experiences. Let me know in the chat. What have you gone to see? What have you been to see? I would love to know. While I'm gone, feel free to discuss it. I don't want to talk to myself the whole time. Okay, just a second. Just give me a tiny little second. Yeah, later when I upload this, I might skip a bunch because I want this to be a video that I'm. Oops, I forgot to put the brow cream back. But okay, no big deal. I'll do that later. But I want this to be a video that I'm able to share on socials, and people having a long prelude kind of might complicate things. So yeah, now we've covered the Besh mode quite thoroughly, and I've covered my feelings about it. Like, Dave is a very intense performer. I see different categories of performers. I see performers that are very static but still convey a lot of emotions. This was a little bit more the vibe of Martin, and obviously he was playing an instrument, so of course he's a little bit more stationary than Dave was. It only makes sense, but it was more of his style. He conveyed a lot of emotions, but he didn't move. But some people convey emotions through voice, through anything, like through their instrument, through their face, like facial expression, body language, things like that. That is the kind of performer Martin is. But Dave conveys passion through intensity and movement, and he's not static. Will he will go all over the place. He will run up and down the runway. As I've said, as I've said before, at that venue in Montreal, this is the Centre Bell. There was a runway. There is a runway. You can run up and down and kind of, go crazy with that. And that is a thing that really got me is every time he would do that, and like even Martin at some point he went up the runway. Those were very intense moments. But yeah, so I kind of see performers as either conveying feeling and intensity through that. Some others as well go more through technical skills. I don't think I have seen a lot of them because I see a lot of alternative music that is more smaller bands and things like that. I've never seen things like, although I wish I did, but I've never seen like Linkin Park or something. And I really wish I did because I am a big fan. Don't hate me for it. That is just, I know that a lot of industrial fans like to hate on people for liking Linkin Park, but Chester was a big fan of industrial music, and he not really shadowed, but he imitated a lot of performers. He imitated a lot of frontmen. He did that with Al Jorgensen from Ministry a lot. He tried to mimic his voice and his singing style a lot. And I think he's mentioned doing that with Ogre and a bunch of other ones as well. um, but, he was young and he was trying different things. And you know how it is. But Chester has always been a fan of industrial music, so it's kind of sad to me that people are like, "Boo, we don't want your normie shit," sort of. Uh, that I find that so sad. Like, what do you even have to say for yourself? I'm gonna work on this shawl a little bit. This is the virus shawl I talked to you about. And I'm starting a new colorway right now, which is one of the indie dyers. Yarn from one of the indie dyers I have. I have a lot of that stuff. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, 8, 9, 10. I'm just really trying to find something to do as I'm talking here. But I'm still gonna talk about the music. I promise. This is gonna be a very intensive breakdown on all the performances I've seen. But fast forward to the next year, actually, I then saw the next show I was gonna see in my life, which was Ogre. It's spelled OHGR, and this is the band of Skinny Puppy's former frontman. I say former because they are retired. They retired in 2023, December, end of their final tour. But Ogre it's his own project. With Mark Walk was also been involved with Skinny Puppy. I talk about it a lot, so you might have heard me mention that in previous lives. But they're quite electronic and with a little bit of tastes of Skinny Puppy still in there, but it is quite different. Obviously, because Mark has worked with Skinny Puppy too, so of course, when you have kind of the same people, some of your stuff sounds similar ish. Like a lot of people like to compare the album Great or Wrong of the Right to Ogre music, and I think that personally Mythmaker sounds quite a lot like it, which Mythmaker is my favorite Skinny Puppy album, by the way. It's hated by a lot of people because it is so different from what they put out before then. Even like the newer stuff, even Great or Wrong, it's just so different from it. It has a more like almost sometimes it's a little bit more aggressive, but sometimes it's more like eerie. Like if you listen to the song Haze, let me know what you think of the song Haze. But to me, it sounds totally out of this world. Really, the melodies, their music, the sounds are a little bit just. They convey a sense of ooh, not not really paranormal, but of something not something above consciousness, maybe. I think I can put it that way. But Great or Wrong of the Right was quite political, obviously, the name, and even Mythmaker still was. But it's just in the vibe that it differs, I guess. And that's my personal opinion. Like I said, that's feel free to debate this with me in the comments. I will not be angry. I welcome this, by the way, because I know a lot of people feel differently towards that album. And I'm just gonna get back. I think I forgot something. Hold on, real tight. Okay, we're good. I'm sorry. I forget things all over the place. It's the ADHD. But I just think that when I hear those notes, like at the beginning of the song, my mind instantly goes into relaxed, thinkative mode, think into the thinking vibe, the more contemplative vibe. I'm sorry, my pronunciation on some of those words is way off, guys. But it's my French and my autism all at once creating a mess. Um, Let me know if I mispronounce something. I won't be angry, I promise. Some of them I cannot pronounce, and I will just tell you that up straight. Like, I'm sorry, I just can't pronounce that because I have some facial features that make it hard, such as I talked about this already, but I have a short tongue frenulum. Not that it's very interesting to hear about, but it does hinder my speaking and the teeth gap and things like that. I'm just saying for the new people because I get the question often about why I talk the way I do from new peeps. So I kind of fall into the disclaimer mode sometimes, and that is not always good. But yeah, I saw Ogre the during the Tricks tour. That was around the time Ogre got his jaw broken, actually, and he still toured. And so, of course, when your jaw is broken, your performance is gonna be a little bit more difficult. There are sounds that you will struggle with, but didn't really see that much. And like I've heard him say, "Oh, but it was okay a few days after, blah blah blah. It's just a small fracture," like downplaying it totally. That's kind of what he does. He's like, "Ah, I'm super mega sick, but I'm fine. I'm fine." The kind of vibe. That's what Ogre does, but which is very insane. But he's a great performer. I'm just gonna say that. Um, Very dedicated, and I'm gonna uh, like that puts him for me into the category of performers who are totally playing on the intensity and the interaction with the public. Like even those who are very very intense, they won't necessarily always seek the connection. I'll say this though, when Ogre performs, he does a full theatrical performance. That's performance art. That is literally you're seeing a show, like you're seeing a little narrative, and he will not be so interactive. It'll be more focused during that part. But recently, he's taken to do longer encores where he's maskless and sometimes no makeup, anything. You'll try to wipe that off. But during the trick story, he still had like the under mask black eye surrounding thing. Because you have to kind of create shadows on your face to look a certain way when you wear masks. I don't know that much about theatrical performances, but I know that sometimes you have to just create shadows if you want your mask to look a certain way, um, which many people might not think about that stuff. But I like to analyze performances, so. But yeah, Ogre was pretty great during that. Like I said, he is a kind of performer that is all over the place, that is very intense on stage. He'll point at people, he will do things like that, touch people's hands and whatnot. He doesn't do that anymore because of the barricades, obviously, since COVID and all. And like Skinny Puppy was gonna be a bigger show anyway, so it had a big barricade, especially that was the final tour. I totally get, like, it was sold out in so many places. I loved my experience seeing Ogre. Amazing band. And the guys, a lot of the people who did the music for Skinny Puppy were hired for uh, a lot of people who did the music for Ogre and were from previous Skinny Puppy tours. Like Justin had been there for a while. I think Matthew might have done some. I don't quite know. I wasn't around back then as much as I am now. Anyway, I was more of a silent fan. I was not in any communities online regarding the guys. But but yeah, Matthew is the guitar guy, and he has like a thing he built himself. His guitar triggers thingies that make sounds and things. I couldn't give you the thing, like it has some kind of a timing to it. I'm not that versed. Please someone correct me if you have the accurate way to describe things, like the accurate thing his self build thing does. Like Anyway, I'm so sorry. I'm struggling to explain. I don't know that much about it. I just know he built it himself, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. But Matthew is a very intense performer. He is a playful performer. He definitely interacts with the public. Obviously, I can tell you that because he waved at me during frontline assembly. So that's that's public interaction for you. And so yeah, that is an act that will definitely be more into into the intensive sort of theatrical stuff. Hi Jason, welcome in. Happy to see you here. Let me know if you've seen a lot of live shows and what kind of music you listen to in general. I'd be curious to hear your experience. Yeah, and also yeah, okay, so moving on, we're gonna talk about She Passed Away next because I saw them a year after in 2019. So that's the next show I've been to see. Like I said, I've not seen a lot of live shows, so I can only talk from my limited experience, but really like geeking out to that stuff. I'm a very big goth. I'm big into gothy things, and the music is a big part of it. She Passed Away is a little bit of a post punk slash dark wavy. It has like some underlying tones of a few different genres, which is often the case with more recent goth music. You see a lot of undertones and things in their stuff. Yeah, you know, it's tough to explain. I am sorry, but okay. So, the there are two guys in that act, and one of the guys was changed for another one. Like he left the band or something, and not really in the know about it. I just know that one of the not the singer, but the other one, like who played the, I guess it's called a mechanical, not a mechanical, but like a digital drum or something, like a drum pad maybe. I'm bad. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know any of the terminology. Correct me, please, someone. But the guy who played that was not originally, and She Passed Away, but Volkan. I'm bad at pronunciation. I apologize. The frontman, the singer. He's always been there. He started it, and he's the one who mostly writes the music and writes the lyrics, and he arranges the stuff, like he produces it and everything. He does most of that stuff. I know that because around the time I went to see the show, I uh, informed myself a little bit. I like to get a little bit into the things. I like to get to know the the vibes, the people. So I followed their Instagram and I was looking into that. So yeah, Volkan is mostly the guy who does that. And one thing I will say about She Passed Away, it is very multilingual. I don't think they have songs in English yet, but they are Turkish, and now they have a lot of songs in Spanish because Volkan moved there with his wife. I think she was already living there, and he went to live with her in Spain. I'm stupid. I'm so sorry. My memory sucks, but I'm pretty sure that was that. But their second album has had a lot of songs, or one or more. I don't. Sorry, I'm so bad, but I know there's at least one song in Spanish. I recommend you check out the album Disco Anxiete. It's their second album. I'm pretty sure it's their second. And anyway, I've not listened to She Passed Away in a long time, and I think I will re-listen very soon because now I'm talking about it and I'm taken back to that time, and I quite liked it. But they fall more under the type of performer that definitely plays more on the technical side. Volkan doesn't really move a lot. He will move around his arms and kind of dance the move with his arms. I don't, and he will play the. I think he plays the guitar. I'm so sorry. I'm stupid. I don't know. Or bass. There's a lot of bass since she passed away, so I wouldn't. I wouldn't know. I'm sorry, I don't remember it just because it was so long ago and I have a lot of trauma, so I don't remember details like what instrument was he playing, and I wasn't even that focused on the instrument he was playing because I was mostly listening to him sing, so I was not paying that much attention. Sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys. But I just know it is a good show. It was a good show, and it's not very intensive, but emotionally, it's very intensive because the lyrics, if you translate them to a language you understand, because I don't understand Turkish, but I still enjoy She Passed Away very much. I've translated a few of their lyrics just to see what it was, because I don't want to just listen to songs not knowing at all, but it's very goth. I'm gonna tell you that, guys. Very dark themes and like a lot of anguish, sadness, darkness. You know, which is predominantly something you see in the goth subculture, in the goth scene, goth music. Yeah. Whew. Uh, I'm like skating right now. I'm bad. I'm so sorry. But yeah, you see a lot of those themes. So the intensity is very much conveyed through that. But the thing is, like I said, yeah, it's a lot of technical skills. I feel like because Volkan's singing was very precise. He has a very, very deep voice. So he has a gorgeous, deep voice. If you listen to it, you'll know what I mean. But I feel like that just made the whole performance. Not all of it, of course. He wasn't alone on stage, but yeah. And I've not really talked about the the openers I've seen yet, and I kind of feel like I should, but I don't know what I'd say. I don't quite know what to say about some of them because I did like them a lot. Um, like when I saw Depeche Mode, the band opening for them were a group of ladies called Warpaint. I don't think they're together anymore. I saw some news that they weren't. Maybe they still are. Let me know in the chat or the comments. I'm not like, please don't take this for granted. I'm just going from what I remember reading. But they're a bunch of ladies. They're amazing, and their musical is a little bit eerie, and airy too, kind of very delicate, but It's also very good. Um, how can I describe it when yeah, but I like stuff with a lot of melodies. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm bad. I'm kind of poking fun at myself right now. I'm not actively hating. Gotta make fun of myself for struggling a little bit with language sometimes and with pronunciations and with speech in general, right? Because gotta take life a little bit less seriously at times. But those ladies were good, and they were definitely more on the technical side, on the more intense, emotionally intense side. Um, the front lady, she has gorgeous voice, and she has a very strong presence on stage. Despite not running everywhere, you can feel the performance, you know? So it was not really needed for her to go out around run like Dave did. Dave Gahan is very much like that. But it's a different vibe. I actually enjoy both of them for different reasons, guys. Yeah, I just I'm a person who likes to analyze stuff quite deeply. I'm sighing a lot these days. I told that to my friend earlier. I told her I sigh all the time lately, don't I? Um, yeah, I'm not feeling my absolute best. I don't know how much longer this video will be because I'm sensing kind of a big wave of tears coming, big stream of tears. So if you have some nice thoughts for me, put them in the comment or description, please. Sad, and I feel lonely and isolated. Not for reasons that any of you know, unless you've talked to me recently outside of YouTube. But yeah, I don't really want to talk about this right now. I just want to geek out about fun music and fun concerts. But yeah, she passed away. It was good. Opening for them was a French Canadian band called. I'm sorry, I don't remember what it was called, but I have an album from them. Or no, I have two. I bought two of their albums back in the days on Bandcamp. So let me just check the music app thing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to put out the volume. Someone should have told me. I bet you didn't hear anything. I'm so sorry. Guys, let me know when you can't hear me, please. I know not your responsibility, but it's my responsibility to check. But please let me know when that happens. Cuz now you've just missed well, mostly everything. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find info about the Palisade. They're called Palisade, and they were very relaxed, very kind of smooth on stage. They have a few lyrics that are a little bit more sensitive, but Palisade, they're great. Look them up, guys. They sing in French. I don't think they opened for the whole tour. I think it was just here. But I was pleasantly surprised about them. And sorry, I'm struggling right now. But yeah, pleasantly surprised. And then I'm gonna talk about the opener for Ogre. It was Led into Gold. They opened for Skinny Puppy as well for their final tour twice, both during the spring and during the fall for their second leg of the tour. They were amazing, amazing, and it's more a bit. Sorry, brain. Like for me, it's meditative as an experience. It's I take it in a lot. I take in the vibe. Paul Barker on stage is amazing. And by the way, he's rejoining Ministry for their last album. So you will see more of Paul around. And he's also working on some project with Dave, like Rave, and Ogre. You're gonna see that as well. Um, but yeah, for me, when I see Led into Gold, I've seen them 3 times now. It's the band I've seen the most. Next to that is Skinny Puppy that I've seen twice, obviously. Guys, I went to Calgary to see Skinny Puppy. So. But yeah, I've seen Led into Gold twice, and yeah, I really love the vibe. I just vibe to their music. I shake my body and my head a little bit, and I get very into it. But yeah, Josh and Paul on stage are amazing. This time, Paul was accompanied by Josh. It's Joshua Hawley. If you don't know who I'm talking about, please look him up. It's quite an interesting person, really, and he is quite cool. So and then yeah, we have at the Ogre show was another opener, which is Omniflux. It is Paul Barker's girlfriend, actually. I'm pretty sure they're still together. I've seen things recently about them. But yeah, and she was performing quite same meditative stuff. It's a little bit more along the line of that, and both that and Led into Gold is a bit more along the line of not really experimental, but maybe it's the right word. I'm not sure, but it's yeah, but it is electronic music, of course. So it fit right in with Ogre and Skinny Puppy. It it fit into the vibe, and I think that Paul and Ogre are really good friends, and they like touring together. Obviously, otherwise they wouldn't have been there the 3 times, as you probably understand. You know, because when you tour over and over with someone, I bet it would suck to not really get along. If they're especially if they're not part of the band, I don't wanna talk about the drama side of things right now. I don't want to get into any of that. But I mean, from what I've seen and what I've known online, they're pretty good friends. And also, they're working on a project together, so hopefully that'll come out soon ish. We never know, because artists are obviously human beings and they have complex lives and they have things to do. So what else? Okay, so I've gone through most of it now, but after that, I was supposed to see a few bands, but I ended up feeling a bit sick not sick, but not quite all there. I get a lot of concussions, and so when I missed is Lebanon, Hanover. I missed them because I had a big concussion. I could not have been there. And I was a little bit afraid first time I saw Skinny Puppy because a few weeks before I had the concussion, I was so worried I was still gonna feel bad by the show. But fortunately, I would say I was feeling a little bit better already. I was sick though. I got like a big flu-like thing from my roommate, but I was no longer really contagious or anything. I wasn't actively sick. I was kind of on the I was very much on demand. So I felt comfortable being there. So yeah, and I was masked and everything. Anyway, I mostly am. The reason I'm not on my thumbnail is because I was stupid. I forgot to put on my mask. I left in a rush the place I was staying. I left in a rush because the concert was soon, and I had to go eat and everything before VIP, and I had to get an Uber and go over there. So I was in a different city in a different province, and so yeah, that's the reason I didn't have a mask then. It was left in my bag at the person's place, my host's apartment. Not that I have to justify myself anyway. I just want you guys to know that I still believe in masking and being a good human being, caring, and all that. So, oh boy. Mm. But yeah, first time seeing Skinny Puppy in Montreal. Uh, the venue had to be upgraded for a lot of their shows because people hadn't seen them in a few years. Their last tour was around 2017. I wasn't even there. Oh boy. Anyway, they toured a bunch, like time and time and time again. Like next, um, to uh, many years in a row. Like they had two or three tours, one after the next. I think something like that. At least two, that's for sure. Mm, But okay, I think I have the right number of double crochets in this annoying little thing here. I'm sorry, I'm distracted, but Skinny Puppy, like I said, it's a very intensive theatrical performance. It's a full-on theater show almost. Like Olger was talking about how for him it has to feel authentic because a lot of the stuff he did when he was younger didn't feel that way anymore. So he felt like doing something that was closer to him as a person. So there was no blood and whatnot this time around. It was more, yeah, it was still as intense. I tell you that I didn't care that there wasn't blood. Ogre got beat up by the actor we call the Tormentor, played by Dustin Schultz. He's amazing, by the way. He was there for Ogre's show as well. I don't think he was doing a theatrical performance. I think he was playing an instrument. But my memory does not serve me. I don't remember what he was doing. Anyway. Sorry, guys. I enjoy geeking out about that stuff, but what I'm gonna tell you is like that was intense. He was Ogre was playing the part of the other. I've talked about this in length already on my YouTube channel. it's kind of a philosophical concept. The other of that, anyone else than you is an other to you because you don't necessarily have the keys and the things to understand them. We're a stranger to everyone else than ourselves in our life, and because of that, a lot of judgment and lot of division and things arises. A lot of divisive things. I'm sorry, brain fog, guys. Brain fog. Keep that in mind. Sad. Today I'm just sad. It's tough. It's a tough day, and it's gonna be a tough next couple of months too. I'm gonna have a tough time with some things. So I apologize about that. I'm gonna try not to bring my lives down too much. Just know that if I start feeling really down, maybe crying, that's why. Okay, so yeah, theatrical performance and all over the place and very intense, very intense. Ogre is definitely more along the sides of someone who will discard a little bit of the technical aspect to be sure that the acting is on point. He's a little bit of an actor in his soul, and he's been in movies also. So that's his personality. He likes to play, you know. Um, but yeah, that was definitely a sight to behold. Both times I've seen it, it's very unique. Um, but what else could I say about that? Not much actually, but oh yeah, and every time I see him led into gold, which opened for Skinny Puppy, like I was saying, it's getting better. It's gotten better, and Paul and Josh were even tighter, even better. And Josh told me he kept waving at me, and I kept not seeing it. And I apologize. I apologized to him. I felt so bad about that. I'm just being an awkward cookie most of the time when I see people perform. I did the same thing to Matthew Setzer during Frontline Assembly last week. He waved at me so much I did not wave back. But yes, Matthew, I saw you. I don't think you'll see this video. But I saw you wave, and I was happy about it. And I smiled. I know it might not have read as a hey there, I see you wave, but my smile was like, hey, I acknowledge what you're doing. I'm just too stupid to respond to it. Like my brain was in another place, basically. But yeah, Frontline Assembly was fantastic. Like I said, Matthew is a little bit more of a playful performer, and he gives an amazing performance because of the interaction. He moves a lot. Like he will shake his dreads. He has long blonde dreads, but he will shake them all over the place, and like he will headbang quite a bit and play with his dreads, play with stage accessories. He had he had a glow stick thingy in his mouth. It was funny. And Frontline Assembly, very, very good to watch perform. Um, but Bill Lieb, the front man for Frontline Assembly, um, he is not super, super duper perform he will sing and he will be present on stage. A little bit less so than some performers I've seen. Admittedly, it was not bad. I love Frontline Assembly and like Millennium, one of their most popular songs, was still so intense. It was wow. I jumped up and down as soon as it came on. But yeah, yeah, guys, I but he's more maybe a little bit. Maybe he keeps a little bit more to himself on stage. He did sing to me and sing to some people on some occasions. He did approach and was like making eye contact and stuff, but less so than a lot of other performers I've seen. That's just his personal style on stage. It's not bad at all or anything. I just think he has kind of a bubble, you know? And maybe it was different in the past. I have seen some live performances where he was more active, so maybe there's something going on there. But let's not speculate. He was still really good. But yeah, I was thrilled to see Frontline Assembly and Gary Newman. Oh boy, oh my goodness, that guy is a born performer. And I don't want to like share personal information, but someone told me he might possibly be neurodivergent, and proof of that. Gary Newman is amazing, amazing, amazing. I will not say it enough. Very into the performance, very theatrical, very intense. A lot of intense gestures. I talked about this during my live where uh, I did right after the show, where I was talking about just how intense the whole thing was. Guys, Gary Newman, if you ever get the chance, please go see him, guys. He will blow your mind away. I saw sort of an ex date thing during that show, and that was try to avoid eye contact. We did make eye contact a few times. But that guy has like deleted me from all socials, so it was kind of more awkward more than anything else. But I was so focused on the show, it was not a big deal, and I had my friend there to protect me if anything, not just that, but anything at all would have happened, and if any undesired people would have talked to me or anything or given me crap or anything. So I felt I was okay regardless. I didn't even think of that. I just saw him in the crowd and I was just like, oh boy, I hope he doesn't talk to me. But he's a fan of Gary Newman. That much I know, because he's talked about me a lot, about it a lot. And then what can I say about Ministry other than wow, that is such a performance. They're intense. They're intense, and it's not very theatrical. But Al will go to left and right and walk around on stage, make faces at the audience, and this is hilarious. Make a lot of gestures. Some of them quite, if you know Al, you know what I mean. But he was amazing and he sung to me quite a bit. He made me sing with the, when they do that. He did that. I hate that. I hate being put on the spot. Performers do this to me sometimes, and I'm just like, am I supposed to sing now? I don't know the lyrics. I'm sorry, Al. The only music I know from Ministry is from listening to playlists. Occasionally it comes on. I don't hate it, and it's not my favorite music in the world. I do like it, and I love the show. Probably gonna listen to the new stuff a little bit more because it did it for me. It did it for me totally. But guys, Ministry, wow, wow. And that was the moment where mm, people got super intense because obviously they were the main act. You know how it is, right? People in the crowd are quite tame until the big guys come, and then after that it's free for all. Let's push each other, mosh pit, body surfing, all the things people do at shows. But a few rude people at the front were causing us problems. But other than that, fantastic show, and that's that's everything. I've not seen other performances that I can think of right now. Oh yeah, I've seen a French Canadian, a Quebec band called Chinatown. They were doing a small performance at my CEGEP. That's college level education. If you're wondering, if you're not from Quebec, they're pretty good. They're very pop ish. I like pop music, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I love pop music. Never gonna say anything bad about it because a lot of musicians, bands, and stuff that I like are pop, and it can be good. Don't be so quick to throw it away just because it's not weird enough for you, or is it? It's normie stuff. It works for a reason. It reaches people's souls for a reason. Not people are not bad just because they conform to people's ideas of normativity. Sometimes they can be like a lot of people who are uh, within the gender norms can be very judgmental because they don't get the whole queer thing, you know. But it can also be a double-edged sword. But I've met so many fantastic, amazing people at shows, at things. But yeah, they were, like I said, Chinatown did a small performance at my CJEP. Got to talk to the guys slightly. I don't even remember what I said. I probably embarrassed myself because I was a jerk back then. I was a young teen. I was about 17 or 18 maybe when I saw them, but I liked them. I still listen to their music sometimes. But yeah, Chinatown. Look up the song Apprendre à danser and Penelope. You probably didn't understand any word I said. If you don't speak French, I apologize for that. But yeah, yeah, you guys, yeah. I keep saying useless words. Boy. But yeah, one thing I really love about concerts when you go to them is it's a very communal experience. Sort of, you're not feeling the music alone, and you're not all there yourself. But a big part of what makes it so intense is all the people there experiencing at the same time. That is a psychological effect that's been talked about. I don't remember the name because I'm silly like that. My brain does not like remembering things. I'm sorry if that little sound was copyrighted. I apologize, dear algorithm. Please do not take my video down. Uh, I'm just joking mainly because sometimes you never know you'll get copyrighted for the most stupid reasons. Like you sung like 4 seconds of a jingle and you'll be copyrighted for that. Silly YouTube, but yeah, the guys, the people, yeah. I like live music. I love live music. I'm excited to see more of it. I would probably, if I get the chance to see any of the puppy guys again, like mostly, um, I would want to see Justin perform with. My Life with the Serial Kill Cult. I'm bad at pronouncing. I apologize for that, but he plays with them. He plays the drum with them, and they keep touring, and he's always on the road. The only hiatus he got from that was when he was playing with Skinny Puppy. All the other moments, he was with that other band, and kind of want to see them. Yeah, if I get the opportunity, I just might if they come back to Montreal soon. I want to say hi, Justin. Just like wave, and see if he notices me behind his drum. Because during the puppy show, he definitely saw me. I can tell you that. But yes, I love those guys. And if I get the chance to see Matthew again perform with another band, no matter what it is, I probably will take that opportunity. A lot of people like to hate on Matthew for taking a lot of space on stage because he's not the front man. He's the guitar guy, but just the guitar guy is such a stupid statement in my mind. Like, it doesn't make sense that people are so mad at him for it. Because that's what I like in performers. I like them to perform. And he was performing. He was giving himself fully. Matthew is an incredible guy. And I'm a fan of the tour diaries. He does this thing on Instagram. He posts a lot of what he does on there. He's a content creator, what can I say? It's part of what he does, and he's successful with people. Like, he doesn't have a super huge Instagram following. I think he's within the thousands. I think last time I checked was around 5,000, maybe more, probably more actually. But like that guy is successful in what he does, and he is happy and sharing things, and he's always. I know that social media doesn't tell all, but he's always smiling and saying beautiful things, and he is most definitely enjoying his life. And I think that pisses a lot of people off. But you can't expect everyone to share everything all the time on social media. Of course, the best is going to be put forward in a lot of instances. I'm sorry, my makeup looks so weird right now. I did not do any blending whatsoever. Hey, I'll be right back. I'll just put that back before I forget it, and my work area gets crowded again. But yeah, you guys, I'm just so silly. I pulled a muscle while getting out of the bathtub, and now I walk like a stupid penguin. I'm just making fun at myself right now. I'm sorry. Who's messaging me again? Uh, okay. A lot of people have messaged me today. My inbox is in the chaotic state. Um. Oh my goodness, my dear friend keeps losing her mice, and I feel so bad for that. Um, just like I think it was yesterday or the day before, but one of her mice passed away, and now another one too. Like in the past few months, she's faced a lot of loss. Goodness, I'm sorry. That just made me feel a bit down. I did a stupid mistake in the title. I'm gonna correct that right now. Experiences instead of experiences. I wish someone had told me. I just saw that because I looked at my church post on Facebook. I'm sorry, I'm starting to feel really down. I'm gonna cry right now. Like I'm in full on heartbreak mode, kind of. I'm feeling really bad. I don't really want to talk about it. I'm just saying I might like mention things in passing, but I won't go like into the subject. But I've been feeling kind of bad here and there, just from time to time, and I've been having such a hard time dealing with some stuff. So I'm not leaving yet, but I'm sorry. I want to thank everyone who's into the stuff I create. I just want to say that. Um, I'm really not feeling well. No, no. I think I'm feeling bad because I've not eaten yet today. I really don't feel like eating. But I have a blood sugar drop. So, like, that doesn't help. But I think I'm just gonna try to finish either the row or half the row, and then we're gonna eat cupcakes, stuff my face in cupcakes. But yeah, live music, you guys, it's something I feel so intensely, and I'd recommend any of the bands I've seen that I've mentioned. They were great. I only ever see bands that I really like. I get really into. And the exception was Gary Newman and Ministry. I like them, but I've never been into them as much as, let's say, Skinny Puppy or Frontline Assembly. Frontline Assembly I used to be quite obsessed with a few years ago. Um, Before I even got into Skinny Puppy, like Frontline Assembly was the only industrial music I ever listened to. It was I have listened to other bands since then, of course, but for a while, I'm autistic. I get very much into one thing and I consume it until my brain explodes. I listen to Frontline Assembly so much. I played those songs repeatedly on YouTube. So, you guys, I'm feeling really bad right now. It would make me feel better to have some good thoughts. So maybe if you're watching the replay, please comment and let me know. Please comment good things and let me know good, nice things like well wishes and whatnot. But let me know what shows you've been to. I'm really curious to know and discuss your experiences with live music. Have you seen any of the bands I've named? Tell me about that, please. It's gonna make me feel better a little bit, I think, to hear about you guys, the things you love. Because as you probably know, Winter is big fan of music, live music. As I said, so I keep repeating it over and over again. So it's not a surprise. I'm sorry, I'm kind of just rambling at that point. I want to keep crocheting on this over and over again, but I'm pretty much gonna eat very soon because, yeah, I have a bunch of cupcakes. I just want to stuff my face and get it over with. I'm sorry if that's disgusting on camera, I just need to do it. Um, but yeah, if you have questions about any of the bands, performers I've mentioned, please ask. I will gladly um, share with you that experience. Um, I've been quite extensive about it, so I don't think I have more to say. When I saw Skinny Puppy, they did a lot of various stuff from various years because obviously it was a final tour, so it was the end for them. They weren't gonna do anything anymore. So it was not like just do new material and nothing else. Like they played one song off of Weapon, their last album. Obviously, when I saw Ministry, they had new material, so they did mostly new stuff. They did a big, long while. At the beginning, they started with all the new material, and then they did quite a few known songs like Jesus Built My Hot Rod. Yes, it's for those who don't know Ministry, it really is a Ministry song. And Al made a lot of faces at me and looked my way a lot while singing some of those lyrics. And it cracked me up, and he smiled back in amusement. That was funny. But yeah, Ministry did play a lot of the new material. Like when I saw She Passed Away too, because they just had their new album Disco Anxiété out. And even when I saw Depeche Mode, they played a lot of new stuff, like I mentioned. So I don't understand the hate when people do that. Of course, when you're a performer, you're a band or whatever, you have to play the new stuff because you're doing that. Um, they're not doing it to cater to the old fans who just want to see the same stuff and be nostalgic. They're supporting the album they're touring for. That's what bands do. And not as if Depeche Mode needs to do too many of that because they're widely rich and famous, but you gotta promote the new stuff, and that's usually by doing a tour, performances, by playing it. And Skinny Puppy has had to do that a lot because they got screwed over time and time and time again by people, ill intentioned, um, people. With their contracts, they got screwed over so much. Uh, yeah, that's how you know when a band is really strong is they make it regardless of being screwed over repeatedly, and they've still made a pretty good, like, they have a solid fan base, the guys, and they still have they're still very loved in people's minds, and yeah. I'm sorry, I might lose my attention span uh, a lot more than usual. Not as if I never lose my attention span. I always freaking lose my attention span. I'm just really sad right now. I could use some good thoughts. I'm serious, you guys. Um, struggling. But that's pretty much it for that subject. Like I said, let me know what bands you have seen. Dawn has told me a few that she's seen, like on one of my previous lives that I talked about this. Just wanted to do a full review of my experience, and like obviously I was, at least for a long time, very involved in the music community, especially Skinny Puppies community, and a lot of the people know who I am, and sometimes that can play a big role in your enjoyment of music, not just in your enjoyment, but your perception, because you get close to the people and you see them in a specific way, and that changes obviously because human beings are not static. They shift, they change, they are, yeah, wild, wild creatures. I'm sorry, I digress again. I want to write again. I have ideas for things. Like, obviously not music because I suck at that. I have no sense of rhythm. I might write poetry again. If you're interested to know more about that, let me know. A lot of my biggest inspirations in writing were mostly Skinny Puppy and Ogre because it's a lot of music I've consumed over the last few years repeatedly, and so it kind of inspires my vibe when creating. Obviously, I have a very unique writing style, and I write in a way more careful manner, maybe. So, if you know Olger, his writing style is very chaotic, and he uses a lot of play on words and things like that. I'm a little bit more strict with my style, my own style, but I write a lot of deeply emotional stuff. Um, my poetry is intense. Uh, my short stories, they're intense. Look at that, it's coming along nicely. But I'm starting to have shoulder pain, so I'm gonna stop now. It's gonna stuff my face, like I mentioned. It's gonna this okay. Heater down. I don't mind if my fingers freeze a little bit more while I eat. Um, so I'm not working, so they don't need to be perfect. Oh, Don is live. Is it now? Yeah. Oh, it's her birthday live with John. Actually, I am probably gonna head over there. So, I want to say thank you to all of you guys. I want to go hang out with my friend Dawn and spend a good time because I definitely need to not be alone right now. I'm very sad. Oh, Ian is live too. I might go say hello to Ian, and then say hello to Dawn. Let me just. Okay, so let me just link that for you. Dawn is over here, and Ian over there. So both of my friends are live right now. So I want you guys to go and support them. They're really good friends of mine. I care about these guys. But thank you everyone. I hope you all have a super good day, week, or whatever. I've just had some things really collapse in my life right now. I'm very sad. So please, good thoughts to me. Uh, I'm gonna need them. Really struggling and suffering right now. But yeah, thank you everyone. My eyebrows are so uneven. That's not even bothering me that much. I just keep noticing it and seeing it. But thank you everyone so much. I hope you all have the day you want, the day you deserve. I know that people say that in a bad way, but I don't like to say it in a bad way. I like to say that because I believe people deserve at least the basic necessities and their basic needs met, and that's what personally I would prefer it to mean, that expression, and I think it's quite nasty actually. I don't like wishing harm on people even if they have done harm themselves. Maybe I'm just too soft, I don't know. But yeah, and I want to say again, if you want to check out my Etsy place, I would really appreciate that. If you want to buy from me, I would really appreciate that. The end of the month is going to be a little tight, you guys. It's going to be a struggle for sure. So I really appreciate all of you people's donations. I've had quite a few. But yeah, I'm still missing a bit of money. If you want to help out with that, my Ko-fi is over there as well. My Ko-fi link, it's up there. And thank you. Yeah, that's my fundraiser, Ko-fi, for my bills and necessities and whatnot. If you felt entertained by this video, feel free to leave me a tip over there. I'm not monetized on YouTube. I don't have a strong enough viewership for that. Sorry, I just spit accidentally. I'm sorry, guys. But if you felt moderately entertained, at least from this video, or you enjoyed the musical content, might want to go to my Ko-fi and just give a small tip, and that is really appreciated. And like I said in the comments down there, talk to me about the shows you've been to. We can exchange about it and exchange stories. So yeah, bye everyone. I hope you all have a good time.